whole backyard used to be St. Augustine, right up to the pier here. It was just one solid mass of green.
The once tame carpet of green lawn leading from Elaine Rennick's Claremont home to the shore of Lake Minnehaha now is a lush and thick mix of Florida native wetland plants.
One of the things that you'll notice is we have no beach.
By keeping her shoreline natural, Rennick is doing her part as a homeowner and a Lake County commissioner to protect a lake, to restore a watershed. Lake Minnehaha, located about 25 miles west of Orlando, is part of a chain of lakes whose waters flow north to form the Ocklawaha River.
If I'm going to talk the talk, I better walk the walk. And I know a lot of neighbors thought it was crazy because we had a beautiful St. Augustine backyard. In fact, the person who used to come and fertilize it was working in the neighborhood when he saw it being torn out. And he came over and he was like, I tried so hard to make that beautiful. What are you doing?
What Rennick is doing reaches far beyond her backyard. She is involved in a large-scale watershed restoration effort to improve water quality throughout the entire upper Ocklawaha River Basin, an area of central Florida, including more than 70,000 acres of lakes and rivers. And Vivian Garfine, who is leading the effort in Central Florida for DEP, is glad that Rennick is so passionate about water protection.
People like Elaine Rennick have been at the table from the beginning, and with more and more people like that becoming involved, showing others, showing neighbors how they can take care of their if everybody takes care of their little piece of this earth, then all those pieces start to fit together.
The strategies for cleaning up the Ocklawaha River watershed involve a collaborative effort among DEP, water managers, county and local governments, and other stakeholders. People like biologist John Benton of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission.
So today, Cherie is going to push us off. We're going to go to our first sample site and see what we can find.
Today, Benton and biologist Sherry Stewart are surveying the game fish in Lake Beauclair, which has some of the worst water quality in the upper Ocklawaha Basin. The pollutant in Lake Beauclair is phosphorus, which flows in water from Lake Apopka. High phosphorus levels feed algae, turning the water pea green.
What we're about to start on is our electrofishing sample, and we're working at about 600 volts and almost 10 amps of current, which is pretty stout.
Benton's fish sampling is just one of thousands of research and monitoring projects in Florida aimed at improving water quality. Science is the foundation upon which DEP's water restoration plans are built. More data has been collected on Florida's waters than any other state in the U.S. DEP is required by federal and state laws to monitor water quality in order to determine which water bodies are impaired and establish targets for pollution reduction. Once those targets are established, DEP and the local community develop an action plan.
So we're going to crank up the generator here and do a 5-minute sample.
An electric current from probes hanging in the water draws fish toward the boat. When they get close, they are shocked and go limp. Stewart arms herself with a net, ready to scoop up the temporarily stunned fish. Benton steers the boat into a thin fringe of tall grass at the edge of the lake, and Stewart snags a variety of species and deposits them in a holding tank. After 5 minutes, all the shocking and dipping is over. Now they count and weigh the fish they've collected.
This first fish is a largemouth bass, and it is a primary sport fish, and it is 435 millimeters.
That's 17 inches worth of good news. However, most of Benton's samples today indicate the lake's ill health. Exotic species like tilapia outnumber the native bass that once lured fishing tournaments here and helped to power the local economy.
If the lake got better, we would expect to see more sport fish instead of the tilapia. So it's certainly indicates that this lake is damaged, but that the pieces are there to repair. I mean, we're not missing sport fish species altogether. That would be really bad if we didn't find any bass or brim species at all.
Sport fish need habitat, submerged eelgrass in this case. Eelgrass needs sunlight to grow. Sunlight can't penetrate pea soup. Restoring Lake Beauclair means addressing water clarity.
The problem in this lake is that it only extends out from shore, say 20 or 30 yards, so you're limited to a very small percentage of the lake as a whole as for your nursery area, and that limits how many of the sport fish species that the lake is capable of producing.
Lake Beauclair is one of 10 water bodies in the upper Ocklawaha River Basin that don't meet state water quality standards. Here, high levels of phosphorus have caused an imbalance in the native plant and fish communities. A few miles away, the Lake County Water Authority and the St. Johns River Water Management District are taking a big step to remove phosphorus from the water flowing from Lake Apopka. It includes the creation of giant ponds where water from the canal will be diverted and treated with aluminum sulfate, commonly referred to as alum. The alum, which is also used in public drinking water, will bind with phosphorus and other solids in the water, causing them to settle to the bottom of the ponds where they can be removed.
The Apopka-Beauclair Canal is really the greatest source of nutrient pollution for the entire Ocklawaha. We can get about 67% at minimum reduction in the total phosphorus coming down the Apopka-Beauclair Canal.
That amounts to more than 5 tons of phosphorus per year. When completed, the Apopka-Beauclair Nutrient Reduction Facility will be the largest alum stormwater treatment facility in the world.
Well, the net effect is that we start to see increasing water clarity downstream. That's the real big driver for the project.
Because of large projects like this one and backyard efforts of people like Elaine Rennick, pollution reduction targets are already being achieved in the Ocklawaha watershed. Statewide, watershed restoration is a monumental undertaking, one that DEP's Vivian Garfine says requires everyone's support.
It's hard in some ways to comprehend what a big program this is. It has people at all levels throughout the department and throughout the state and throughout state government and local government involved in a way they've never been involved before. Because everybody now understands and recognizes that we have to work towards this program and these reductions in order to preserve the quality of our water bodies in the state of Florida.